In the previous lesson, we went through an overview of your left side navigation on Google Analytics. Before we dive into the reporting sections on Google Analytics, let's go through Google Analytics permissions. After you set up your Analytics account, you will probably want to give permissions to other users to access your account. This option can be found in the admin section. Under each of your account settings, property settings, and your view settings, there's an option called Access Management, which allows you to provide access to people at the respective levels. For example, if you're given edit permissions at the account level, you can access and edit every single property under that account, as well as all the views under each of those properties. If you only have access at the property level, then you will be limited to only that property and the views under that property. Finally, if you have only view level access, you can only see that view and edit that single view. Here's an example. This is Equinet Academy's account. On the left, I have account level edit permissions. Therefore, I am able to view all three properties under the account and also all of the views under those properties. On the right, I only have view permission. Therefore, I can only see a single property, and under that property, I can only edit the single view which I have access to. The rest of the account properties and views are not available to me. So go ahead and start giving access to people who need it for your Google Analytics account. Let's now look at what overview reports are. The overview report is a report generated by Google Analytics that presents data of the most commonly used dimensions and metrics, and this overview report is available under each reporting section. With this report, marketers can retrieve the results easily without having to dive into a full report. Let's take a look at the Audience Overview Reporting dashboard. There are 10 areas that we'll be covering for the overview report. They are Data Sampling Indicator, Segment Picker, Date Range Comparison Selector, the Line Graph, the Metric Selector, the Duration Selector, Graph Annotator, Helpful Metrics, Dimension Selector, and the Full Report Link. Let's begin with the Data Sampling Indicator. The Data Sampling Indicator tells you whether the results shown in the analytics is based on all the data collected or a subset of the data. Click onto the green check shield and a box will open up showing how many % of the sessions this report is based on. The statement indicates how much of the data collected was used to analyze and produce the results below. If the shield is green in color, it means that 100% of the sessions were used in the report. For larger websites that have more than 500,000 sessions, the color of the shield will turn either yellow or orange. This means that the report was based on the sample or a subset of the data. In the drop-down box, there are two options: faster response and greater precision. Faster response will generate reports faster based on smaller sample sizes, while greater precision will maximize the sample size to generate the most precise results. Next will be the segment picker. Segments allow you to look at specific data and compare metrics. By default, segments will be set to all users. However, you may click onto the segment button to select or create a specific segment. Do bear in mind that you will be able to compare the results of different segments in each report. On the right side of the page, you will be able to find the date range or range comparison selector. This is the most important factor to take note of for all of your reports. The date range selector enables you to retrieve data within the selected date range. More than 90% of the times when your answers are different from your peers, it's because you had selected the wrong dates when you click on the date range selector. You will see that it expands into a calendar format when you click on it. You can either select the date range using the calendar format or key in the dates manually. The cool thing about this is that you can compare the dates between two periods of time. Check the square box besides compare to, and you'll be able to select another date range which you would like to use as a comparison. Below the segment picker, you will be able to find the line graph section. By default, the line graph shows the data points for the number of users each day over the selected date range. Above the line graph, you will find the metric selector. This will allow you to select up to 2 metrics for the line graph. Click on the box to find the drop-down of the list of metrics. The left side y-axis shows the first metric range and the right side y-axis shows the second metric range. On the right-hand side of the metric selector is the duration selector. You may choose to set your line graph's views based on hourly, daily, weekly, or monthly. This will change the data points in line graph. For a longer date range, you may want to select a wider date range to see a less choppy line graph to get better insights. One of the most underrated features is the graph annotator, which can be found by clicking on the little drop-down right below the line graph. This function is useful for the marketing team to keep track of specific events when assessing the report. For instance, marketers can set annotations for a certain campaign which caused a spike in the traffic. This will help the analyst to better understand the reason for the increase in traffic. The annotation can be set to shared or private. Click on the plus Create New Annotation link at the right. Once an annotation is added, a small indicator will appear on the graph that can be viewed by other users with access to the view. Below the line graph is the Helpful Metrics section. Metrics are quantitative measurements and are the numbers in a dataset paired with the dimensions. In your audience overview report, there are 8 metrics that Google Analytics thinks that would be the most useful for you to look at. You'll find different helpful metrics in different overview reports. Below your helpful metrics is the Dimensions Selector section. A dimension is an attribute of a dataset that can be organized for better analysis and is generally paired with metrics. If you take a closer look at it, under the demographics, it has been set to language, and you will be able to see the top 10 languages used by your visitors within the selected date range. At a glance, you'll be able to see the top few languages without going into the full report. You can click on any dimensions and the data will change accordingly. The last thing to look at is the full report link. Let's say you are at the audience overview report with the language dimension selected. If you want to further analyze the data, you can navigate to the full report by clicking the View Full Report link at the bottom right corner. Google will then redirect you to the full report for the language data, which is in this case under the Geo report under the language section. If you scroll down in your full report, you will see a large table of data. In this table, you will see the dimension and metrics. The dimension data is in the first column on the left, with each row representing a different dimension value. Metrics are found in all of the columns after the first one on the left, and the metrics values are paired with the dimensions in each row. So, we've covered the overview reports and touched a little on the full report. Of course, we'll need to take a deeper look into the full reports. I'll see you in the next one.